Hey, what's up guys, Phil here from Inspire Fitness. So what we do in this video series, you take some of your favorite foods and change them into some macro-friendly options. So today we got an awesome tteokbokki recipe. We're gonna be making it high protein, low carb, low fat. We're gonna be looking to change the macros from this to this. So let's see what we got cooking up, guys. Tteokbokki is definitely one of those Korean dishes that are really hard to fit in a really healthy diet. So today's recipe is going to try to combat that and try to add some nice protein into the dish and make it more balanced overall. So first things first, we're going to be making the paste for this dish. We're going to be using monk fruit sweetener because it adds a little bit of sweetness and no calories with that, and just around 2 tablespoons of that. Up next, we got this gochugaru. I spilled a little bit here, but just try to use all of it. It's this Korean chili powder. And lastly, we're going to be using this gochujang, which is the Korean chili paste. It's really nice and sweet and also adds a little bit of spice. And it's really one of the main seasonings for this dish. So now we're going to add around 2 tablespoons of water. We're just doing this to kind of make it easier to mix in and just kind of make it easier to incorporate in the dish. And yeah, you should have this nice paste. It should kind of be in this consistency. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because we're just going to be adding water in the future anyways, but it makes it easier to kind of mix in. So next up, we only got 3 more ingredients for the entire dish. The first one's going to be this fried fish cake. It's called Odeng in Korean. You want to get the thinnest one possible here. We got that good old-fashioned chicken breast. Every healthy meal has this, just a little bit. And we're going to be using rice cakes. This is called tteok in Korean. It's going to add that nice chew to this dish. So, of course, you know, I got to show my knife skills, as bad as they are. But we got 8 to 9 chives here. It goes really well with this dish. It adds a little nice crunch. So we always want to cut the chicken breast in half because they're usually way too thick. And what this does is just make sure that we get an even cook time on the chicken breast, making sure that some parts aren't too dry. You want it to be around this thin when you cut it up, and that's good to go. So now we're going to cut these little chicken tenders. This was a little too big for our tteokbokki dish. It didn't really make sense texturally, but in the next clip right now, you can just kind of go for these. These are the perfect size for the tteokbokki. And now what we want to do is we want to sanitize the board where we kind of touch the chicken because we're going to put some odeng down right now. Just around 2 sheets is fine, but if you want to save up on the carbs, feel free to just use 1 here, but we use 2 because we were feeding more than 2 people here. And make sure before you cut the odeng, you want to sanitize the knife with some soap and some hot water. That way, you know, we don't get any of that raw chicken on there as we cut. So just cut these up into maybe 1-inch slices. You could even cut them horizontally as well if you don't like them too big. So that's really it, guys. 8 to 9 chives. We got around 10 ounces of chicken breast, 2 sheets of odeng, and just move that over to the stove and we can just cook that all up in one pot. So the first thing we want to cook up is definitely the chicken breast. It's because it takes the longest to cook, and you know, these pieces are really thick and we want them to be fully cooked through by the time we put the other ingredients in. So just season a little bit with some salt. There's already a lot of salt in the paste, so you don't have to put too much here. So once you form a crust on the chicken just like this, you know that it's fully cooked, and now you can start to add the other ingredients in. So now we're just going to add the odeng in. Instead of using 2 sheets, we actually only use 1.5. 2 was just a little too much, and there's already a lot of protein in here, so we don't need to go even further. Now we just want to add around 150 grams of the tteok. This serves 4 people, and you can add a little bit of chives here for some much needed freshness. Yeah, this dish really needs some greens in here, so this is perfect. If you have green onions, that works perfectly as well. So now we're just going to add around 1 cup of water. You can use even less if you like it a little spicier, but that was fine for us. Now we're going to be adding that paste in. And right now it's going to seem like it's not enough paste, but once you boil this down, it's going to turn into this really flavorful paste, and the starches is going to really thicken up that sauce. Like right now, if you look at it, it's like, is this going to turn out to be tteokbokki? It looks like it's really bland. It's not really sticking to the tteok and the odeng, so just kind of watch and see what happens when you start to boil the water. So it took around 5 to 7 minutes to get to this point. Any more than that and you'll start to see that the rice cake gets really mushy. This right here is perfect. It was 7 minutes in and we took it off the heat. But yeah, any more than that, you'll start to really get this gummy kind of mushy rice cake, which we really don't want. Yeah, so that is really it for this video, guys. You get this really nice tteokbokki dish with a lot of protein since we added that chicken breast in here, a lot less fat than usual as well. And if you want to learn more about tteokbokki and the recipe, make sure to check out our blog at aspirefitnesswalnut.com/blog, where we kind of go over the nutrition facts of this dish and we kind of go over where the origins are. So if you want to check out that blog, feel free to do so. If you like the video, feel free to like and subscribe and share it with your friends. If you made it for yourself, make sure to tag us at Aspire Fitness Walnut on Instagram. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.